There's the young Abraham Lincoln. And he is reading Aesop's Fables. Lincoln's early years. There's Lincoln reading the book by the fire. Somebody's snoring. Is that the dog snoring?
All right, my brother.
See, I'm getting video footage right now. See, here's his plantation. I can zoom in. That's what I love about this new iPhone. I can zoom in with it.
I can zoom in on my phone too.
Slave auction block.
You got full screen on your phone with it?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Why does it?
What do you mean full screen?
Yeah.
This is Abraham Lincoln working in a clothing store or something? I think this is Lincoln and his wife. Abraham Lincoln, Springfield. I think this is when he was like a lawyer or something. What's this? Somebody died, I guess? I don't know.
Is that the actual real one?
Knox College for Lincoln. The Lincoln-Douglas Senatorial debates. Knox College. Oh, this is when he was running for Senate. Because he was a senator first. This place is big.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of books. What's back here? Oh, it's nothing.
No cameras past there?
No, there's nothing back there. Oh, this is when he was a senator. When he was a senator, he would just let his two boys get away with everything. Like, he wouldn't discipline them or anything. He did a good job.
Yeah, they did.
Your grandfather started with a bare patch of earth. You've built a way of life that will last for centuries. Only now, some men you don't even know want to come in and steal your property, destroy your home, and put you in jail. To these men, our
Let the people rejoice. Lincoln elected. Capital shall not own us. The people true to liberty. God bless New York. I want to see this. Gosh, it's so dark I can't see it very well. Yeah, there we go. See? Get the flash turned on. So what they're like.
You're not supposed to use that door, right?
Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
On to the White House. On to the White House.
What are we in now?
I think we're in the White House. I don't know what that means. Oh, we're leaving now. We're coming back out to the main part.
Now where we going?
We're going to the White House, or at least that's what it says. It says go on to the White House. There's Lincoln and the family. Ghosts of the Library. This place is so huge. What's that?
Sound thingamajig.
Oh yeah, the sound thing. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mary Lincoln joins Washington High Society. Washington High Society.
So this is the ballroom, I'm guessing?
Yeah, but I don't know where the ball is. I
Probably in
just
here.
know it's a room. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Gosh, I really love this wide-angle lens. It's super helpful.
What is this?
I don't know. I guess it's
Fort Sumter.
What?
Fort
Sumter.
Sumter.
Where the first shot at the start of the Civil War.
Oh, this is interesting. Look at this.
Had better buy their morning goods now. In a month, there won't be enough money in the country for all that's needed.
The Flight of Abraham.
Got to be stopped. Lincoln's war is nothing but wholesale murder.
His own Secretary of State called Lincoln nothing but a country lawyer.
The Secretary of Stanton called him the original convict. And McClellan, the head of his own army, called Lincoln
A lot of these people demonize Lincoln, you know? 'Cause he's trying to take their slaves away.
Mrs. Lincoln is well, she is from the South.
Well, the slaves were a big part of the economical future.
For sure was free labor. Didn't have to pay your labor force.
And Lincoln was born ignorant. He's been losing ground ever since. That face
Look at this. Lincoln as a monkey holding a copy of the Emancipation Proclamation. Wow. What is this? Gulliver Abe in the White House. Okay. What is this? King Abraham before and after issuing the Emancipation. Oh, before and after.
covered with rough, uncombed hair. Be careful. nose and ears that somebody took by mistake from a head twice the
What is
size.
this?
Lincoln's records.
Abducting the goddess of liberty.
Fire of revolting incompetence.
It's so crazy how it's like all. Look at that.
History is the man who plunged his country into a great war without
So
a plan,
crazy.
who failed without excuse, and who fell without
Like they really like a lot of these people. They really hated Lincoln. They're like demonizing him. Look at this. Abraham Africanus.
dishonest politician with a disgraced democracy of America. Mr. Lincoln is indecent, insensitive, and restless.
One of our service calls is like downright cranky.
What is this?
I hear Mr. Lincoln's own staffer from
The Yankee Nero.
that man just
He's a dictator.
What is this?
That's weird.
What's going on? His uncomfortable seat. Okay, I see. Yeah, these were like real cartoons that people made of him back in the day. Great and astonishing trick of the old age. What is that? National Joker. What is it? He's a lion? Honest Abe's rudder. Look at this really tall one. A little longer.
For dinner?
For dinner. I got my flash on. Yeah, that's cool. Because it's so dark. That's cool. This is Willie. His son Willie died. This is Mary Todd over here. Lincoln's cabinet reacts to the first reading of the Emancipation Proclamation. What is this? Oh, this is like a really old map.
Hi everyone. Sorry for the tree you're needed.
This is Lincoln, and he's talking to his cabinet members about the emancipation. At the end of the otherwise routine meeting, Lincoln surprised his cabinet by reading his draft of the Emancipation Proclamation. He told them that his mind was made up on what it was going to say, and that he simply wanted their input to best implement the proclamation. The proclamation freed slaves in enemy territory and was sure to be controversial. After listening to his cabinet's comments, Lincoln decided to wait before issuing the document to the public. New York Tribune. I need to back out here. Emancipation Proclamation. It goes too far. It doesn't go far enough. Don't sign it. New York Tribune.
that the Negro is no equal to the white man, and that slavery is the Negro's natural and moral condition. Who are you, sir, to bring asunder what Messrs. Washington and Jefferson so righteously affirmed? I would suggest, sir, that the Union can be restored. That was always our goal. Union. You, however, insist.
Isn't this cool?
Slavery. Your administration is a stumbling, halting, prevaricating, irresolute, weak, besotted cesspool of incompetent. Mr. President. And now is not the time for pause or hesitation.
I want to listen to this guy. Oh.
I can say it no other way except to state that Kentucky cannot and will not give up our right to hold slaves. Never! This so-called Emancipation Proclamation would be unconstitutional. You are but a temporary servant of the government. I'm not saying they haven't had a few problems, as all new inventions do, but, sir, these problems are all fixed. And I do not lie to you when I say that for just $2 million, this gun can take 6 months off the war.
You go free the Negroes and he's just gonna desert anyhow. He told me so 1,000 times. He ain't fighting next to no Negroes.
Is this glass right here? Is that a hologram?
I don't know, man. Here's the proclamation. This is cool. Whoa, dang. Wow, that's really cool. Emancipation Proclamation. On the 22nd day of September in the year of our Lord, 1862, proclamation was issued by the President of the United States. And stuff.
And raised the banner of emancipation among the slaves. This wonderful proclamation of emancipation will not just free the slaves, it will free the oppressors from the sinful world.
Oh, this is interesting.
It will free the country from its greatest blight. And it will free the military to fight with renewed vigor and righteous wrath.
Mr. Lincoln, signing that Emancipation Proclamation will dishonor our founding fathers and violate the Constitution that you swore to uphold. Sir, you are taking our property, and it will destroy the country.
No less than the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court has ruled that African slaves
That's interesting.
no more rights than a dog.
They had it printed in a variety of different ways. This is cool over here. Civil War. I love this wide angle lens. Helps me to really grab all of it. The Civil War in 4 minutes. Oh wow. Look at all this.
Oh, that's awesome.
The War Gallery. Look at all those pictures.
Yeah, you see a picture you like and you can learn more about it.
Oh, what is that?
supposed to be Harriet Tubman right here?
What do I hit return or something? I don't know what to do. Oh, cool. Oh, neat. You can read about it. Huh?
Is this supposed to be Harriet Tubman right here?
Sure, why not? I don't know. I don't know who that is. Oh, you can find out. You can find out over here. Okay. You go to return.
That's Susie Baker King Taylor, a nurse, a teacher, and an author.
Okay,
She's
thank
an
you, ma'am.
organizer, president of the Women's Relief Corps Auxiliary with the Grand.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That's cool.
It's so cool. You just touch it and then it tells you who it is. I touched the picture. Do it. Tell me what it is.
She probably got a bad one.
This one doesn't work. Whatever. Oh, look at this. They got the war in 4 minutes. Casualties. Frederick. So I guess people of that time were able to see this on their TVs when they went home at night.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Because of course they had television at that time,
Really?
right? No.
16, 1861, 1863, 1864, 1865.
So when he started, his first year he had no beard. His second year he had more of a beard.
What?
His third, is that third? No, that would be his fourth year. He got more of a beard. Where's 62? Anyway, 64, and then 65. He's a lot older then. Oh, this is his actual head right here.
Really?
No. No, it's bronze. Lincoln's hands and face. These castings were made by the well-known sculptor. Lincoln's face. The War Department Telegraph Office. That's kind of cool how those numbers are like floating out like that. It's interesting. There's like some sort of projector doing that.
Kidney scrubs really took a turn.
The tide turns. Lincoln is reelected. The war ends. Oh my gosh, it's all the people that died. All the tombstones. All the dead people. God grant victory. War is over. The war is over. Washington celebrates Union victory. Ford's Theater. This evening, President Lincoln.
Oh, let's find him.
This is all about the theater that he went to when he got shot.
In the back of the head. That's the most powerless way to kill somebody.
Yeah,
Shoot them in the back.
in the back of the head for sure. Oh, here we go. Entrance to the Ford's Theater, 25 cents. There he is. There he is. There's John Wilkes Booth. He's sneaking in.
I don't think they had Secret Service back then, did they?
So John Wilkes Booth is over here and he's gonna sneak in and he's gonna assassinate the president, Abraham Lincoln. So they're up here in the balcony watching. Wow. Where's the show at? Lincoln's last words. After Lee's surrender, Lincoln finally found some time to react. So they actually won the war before he died. He died on Good Friday?
Oh, wow.
Are you kidding me? It was a few minutes after 10 on Good Friday night, April 14th, 1865. John Wilkes Booth, familiar with the script of Our American Cousin, knows when the play's biggest laugh line will occur, and he intends to exploit it to a murderous effect. Gosh, I didn't know he was killed on Good Friday. I did not know that.
So they didn't have Secret Service back.
The president is dead. Abraham Lincoln died. Oh, this is all about the train ride home. I think they have a full-size train in here, don't they? Or something. The funeral train. It's so sad in here. It's Lincoln's casket with George Washington overlooking it. So sad. Gosh, it's so big in here. But this phone doesn't do super well with low light. Now, where is this? Where is this monument at? It's here in It's here in Springfield, isn't it? Lincoln, Lincoln, I've been thinking. That's a really, really big head. That's huge. Look at how big that head is. Sorry, go ahead.
The guy said it's 25 minutes out.
Huh?
The guy said it's 25 minutes out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it's in town here somewhere. Union Theater. 10 minutes. Can we get a seat?
There's very truly a Lincoln. Gray eyes. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. Lincoln's eyes speak volumes. I noticed in the photographs that Lincoln appears to have one lazy eye. That's an eye that drifts off to one side. You see where his left eye appears to look slightly in the wrong direction? I read somewhere that when he was 10 years old, Abraham got kicked in the head by a horse. Was that the cause of the lazy eye? Well, we'll never know. But if that horse would have kicked him just a little harder, our country might be very different today. Young Abraham was born into a life of hardship and back-breaking manual labor. His mother died when he was 9 years old. His father remarried, and young Abraham immediately accepted and loved his new stepmother.
Abraham Lincoln was the best boy I ever saw.
Sarah Bush Lincoln.
He was kind to everybody and to everything. He read all the books he could lay his hands on. Aesop's Fables was a favorite, especially the fable of the lion and the 4 bulls. Remember the moral? Come now.
I know I should.
A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Better come in handy a few years down the line.
Taught himself to read by the dim light of the dying embers of a fire. Now, any mother would tell you that's a good way to strain your eyes. But Lincoln's eyes also showed deep sorrow. They say his first sweetheart was Anne Rutledge. Scholars disagree. But when Anne died, Lincoln was crushed.
First his mother died, now his sweetheart. His friend Samuel Hill later claimed he took away Abe's pocket knife because Abe seemed almost suicidal. So deep was his grief. Did it happen just that way? Historians will never be sure. We do know that a few years later, Abraham married Mary Todd. At times, it was a stormy marriage, according to Lincoln's law partner, William Herndon.
Occasionally, Mr. Lincoln would arrive in the office, and I could see it in his eyes that he'd been crying. At times, I could plainly see the tears. I would excuse myself and go downstairs to chat with colleagues. Within an hour, I would return, and Mr. Lincoln would have composed himself. After that, it would be fine.
The relationship with Mary couldn't have been all bad. After all, 4 children. Something there. And the Lincolns dearly loved their children. Their son, Eddie, was the first to die. Disease took him, just like it took Abe's mother and Anne Rutledge. Later on, when he was elected president, another son, Willie, would die in the White House. So much sorrow for one family. You could see it in his eyes. But you can also see lines of laughter. There, and there. Those are laugh wrinkles. Abe Lincoln was a master storyteller. His stories were filled with wisdom, humor. How could that be? Great sorrow and joy. Look at this. Smiling Lincoln, sad Lincoln. It's subtle, you have to look for it, but in many of his portraits, he wears both expressions at once. Sad on one side, happy on the other. How can that be? A house divided against itself cannot stand. I guess a face can.
Being elected president should be a joyous occasion, but the majority of the country wanted someone else. America was so divided over the issue of slavery that 4 candidates ran for president. Lincoln won. 7 southern states were so angered by Lincoln's anti-slavery views that they immediately seceded and formed the Confederate States of America. Many assumed that this was simply the end of the United States, and many Northerners agreed with the South. So the Union was anything but united about what to do.
I say let the South go. And good riddance. This isn't my fault.
I won't fight for some other state.
Compromise. You must allow for the expansion.
You must invade the South.
Hang these traitors and immediately get rid of all the slaves. Calling Congress has the authority.
You're merely the president.
Things seemed pretty bad, but then they got worse. Lincoln's fault. Support in the North was wearing thin. But Lincoln felt it was his sacred duty to defend and preserve the country. So the war went on, and the casualties went on, and on, and on. About this time, Lincoln posed for a sculptor, Vinnie Reed.
He seemed an absolutely heartbroken man. His face wore a look of anxiety and pain. At other times, he would have that far-away, dreamy look that somehow foreshadowed the tragic fate awaiting him. And again, those quiet eyes lighting up with a radiance almost of some divine purpose.
A divine purpose. Reed wasn't the only one to see that in Lincoln's eyes. Lincoln had a purpose, a true vision for America.
The proposition that all men are created equal.
In Lincoln's mind, equality was what made America unique among nations. Born in the Declaration of Independence, equality was Lincoln's message to America and America's message to the world.
Giving liberty not alone to people of this country, but hope to the world, that all should have an equal chance.
He addressed the 166th Ohio Regiment. Here's how he explained why they were fighting.
I happen temporarily to occupy this big White House. I am a living witness that any one of your children may look to come here. It is in order that each of you may have an open field and a fair chance, that you may all have equal privileges in the race of life. It is for this the struggle should be maintained. The nation is worth fighting for.
That was Lincoln's vision for America. A commitment to human dignity and opportunity for everyone. That was why he freed the slaves. Although, some would say he did not.
Lincoln freed no one. He was the greatest fraud that ever lived. I'm John Rock. I'm an abolitionist, a true worker for the elimination of slavery. Lincoln was no friend of the black man. His Emancipation Proclamation freed no one. Just look at the map. This so-called Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves in the Confederate States, where Lincoln had no power. So no one got freed there. The northern states didn't have slaves, so he freed no one there. But now we come to the border states. Delaware, Maryland, Missouri, and Mr. Lincoln's birth state of Kentucky. These were slave-holding states that remained loyal to the Union. Mr. Lincoln specifically excluded these states from his proclamation, so he freed no one here either, even though he could have. The Emancipation Proclamation was a slick but empty trick by a cynical politician.
No matter what Lincoln did, somebody didn't like it.
The Emancipation Proclamation goes too far, and it is unconstitutional. I should know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Roger Taney, Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court.
The president has no right to free the slaves. They're property, not people. This Emancipation Proclamation will not stand.
The great state of Kentucky would prefer to stay loyal to the Union, but if you free our slaves, we will certainly join the South.
I joined up to fight for a union, not to free black people.
Black people are the cause of all this trouble. Black
The sad fact was, most people in the country weren't ready for black rights. Lincoln may have wanted to immediately free the slaves, but this was a dangerous business. To keep what remained of the Union together, Lincoln had to lead the country towards what was right in small steps. Frederick Douglass, a former slave, had gained his freedom, educated himself, and become a publisher, an abolitionist. He had his own opinions of Lincoln.
If you compared Mr. Lincoln to America's small number of strict abolitionists, he seemed tardy, cold, dull, and indifferent. But compared to the vast majority of white America, a majority that as a statesman he had to respect, he was swift, zealous, radical, and determined.
Determined. Yes, you could see the determination in Lincoln's eyes. He had to be strong. He had to persevere if he would achieve the American promise of freedom.
Freedom? This is not freedom. This is the tyranny of the great traitor Lincoln.
All the South ever asked for, ever wanted was peace. Lincoln's men killed, pillaged, ravaged, burned, and finally occupied. Atlanta in flames. Set ablaze. Richmond, Virginia, the capital of the Confederacy, in ruins. Women and children terrified, homeless, starving. I must kill him as he killed our dream of Southern independence. Soon, vengeance shall be mine.
Lincoln's vision of America came at a price. Over 600,000 Americans died. Hundreds of thousands more were maimed. Monumental destruction. And Lincoln's own death was stalking him. This casting of Lincoln's face was taken by Clark Mills early in 1865, a few months before Lincoln was killed. A few years later, when the famous sculptor Augustus St. Gaudens saw this life casting, he said,
This is a death mask taken after he died.
No, this is a life mask taken before his death.
No, I'm a sculptor. I know faces. This is certainly a death mask, for it has the signs of death all over it.
4 short years. What a difference. First time, he seems to be smiling. But you can also see the approach of death in his face. And in his eyes. The South was defeated. The Union was saved. The slaves were freed. Lincoln's vision of America had survived. Lincoln did not.
Don't know the manners of good society, eh? Well, I guess I know enough to turn you inside out, old gal. You soft-dologizing old mantrap.
Well, that was subtle.
Lincoln was dead. Shot down on Good Friday. Martyred exactly at the height of his success. And thus, he became a legend. And we haven't seen him clearly since. Perhaps the magnificent sculpture by Daniel Chester French at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington best captures the mythical Lincoln. I don't know what you see here, but I see the image of an American icon. A universally loved, deeply respected leader.
But that's not how it was in his lifetime. It was hard. The path was anything but clear. He was surrounded by critics. At the time, many Americans thought his presidency was a tragic mistake, and they said so, loud and clear. And yet, he had the courage, the vision, the leadership to get a nation in chaos to come together and stay together. Even today, Lincoln continues to fascinate us. Perhaps it's because his story is our story. The rise from humble beginnings, the courage to fight, the generosity to forgive, the determination to see a thing through even when victory is far from certain, the perseverance to reach our dreams. These are the qualities we hope to find in ourselves. Perhaps that's why each of us might see a bit of ourselves in Lincoln's eyes.